Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tori. I'm a licensed therapist. I was also on season 42 of Survivor. And today what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to critique my own audition video that got me cast on Survivor. I'm gonna offer feedback to my own video, which will hopefully provide some insight for you. Because I think what's not helpful sometimes that people try to do is they try to just like replicate other videos that people who got on Survivor did. And I'm gonna show you how there's actually quite a lot of flaws in mine. And if I were giving you advice or feedback on how to make your audition video, I would not say, oh, just go and copy what I did in my video. Because there's definitely some things that I did wrong. Ultimately, it worked out because I got on the show. That proves that you don't have to have a perfect audition video. It's so much more about who you are as a person and the personality you can bring. So without further ado, let's dive into my audition video that got me cast on Survivor.
Hello again, CBS. My name is Tori Meehan. I am 23 years old from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You might recognize me.
Okay, first of all, so I already know, number one, when people were saying that I was in my bra and underwear for my video intro, I would never. That is clearly a swimsuit top and swimsuit bottoms. But I will say, I was told before I got pitched to the Survivor casting team by my casting person who found me, it was recommended that I remove me being in a swimsuit from the beginning. Instead, I submitted one where the introduction, I was just wearing like a workout top and I had my hair in a ponytail.
Hello again, my name is Tori Meehan. I am 23 years old from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm currently a full-time student pursuing my master's degree in professional counseling, and I'll go on to get my PhD in clinical psychology. I've been auditioning for Survivor since the day I turned 18. So this is my 5th year, and I'm freaking ready to play this game.
Because I was told, you know, like, hey, we're not really casting that archetype of like the cute young girl, because how many times do they get cast and they don't ever do anything on the show? I'm not gonna name names, I'm not gonna name names, but I understood that. And so I was like, okay, I wanna be as far removed from that as possible. So I'm not saying that you have, like, I wasn't even shown to the casting team with this exact intro of me wearing the swimsuit. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that.
This is my 5th year auditioning for Survivor. I've been auditioning since I was 18 years old, and I'm not going to stop until you friggin' put me on the show. But I do really believe that I am the total package, the perfect player to not only play the game of Survivor, but to win it all.
Okay, so yeah, I like that I said that, but it would have been so much more helpful had I just like cut all of that and just said, hi, my name's Tori, I've been auditioning for 5 years, I'm not gonna stop until you friggin' put me on the show. And here's why. And then I go into explain why I'm social, physical, mental, emotional, spiritually the best person to play and win the game of Survivor. I shouldn't have just told them this. I need to illustrate that, and I could have just cut that out in my video.
Often to find out why. I am a very likable person. I'm gonna stab you on the back, can't wait. People always tell me that my outsides don't match my insides, because on the inside, I'm a huge nerd. I love Harry Potter, I was in marching band, Scrabble is my jam, I was always the smartest girl in school.
It cringes me to hear myself like talking myself up in this video, but that's what you have to do. Like, you have to present the most, you know, confident part of yourself. I mean, granted, unless you're not confident and you want that to be part of your story, like if you're struggling with insecurities and you think Survivor could help you, okay, that's different. But like, I'm trying to sell myself in this video by being like, yeah, I was the smartest girl in school. And it kind of sounds a bit vain, but that's probably what they found interesting. But I was not trying to come off that way.
Play with the underdogs, so the nerds, the geeks, the older women, the older men. I really don't have a desire to make a young, hot person alliance. Like, I'll definitely use them as shields, and that would be part of my gameplay, but my heart is with the underdogs.
So I did a good job of adding like examples and descriptions and details about, you know, my outsides not matching my insides. And then I connected that to Survivor. But if I did this again, I would have held off any strategy talk until kind of the end. Like, I would want them to know more about me before I talk about me in Survivor. I would want them to just see who I am and then be able to interpret, oh, I can see what she would be like in Survivor instead of me telling them directly.
I'm currently pursuing my Master of Arts in Professional Counseling so that I can be a therapist for women with eating disorders. And I have a bachelor's degree in counseling and psychology, so I understand human behavior. I actually took an entire course on relationships, both platonic and romantic, so I know what it takes to keep relationships, what elements are important, and how to use that to my advantage in the game of Survivor.
I mean, I think that's pretty interesting. I personally think that might have been the reason I finally got cast, because after so many years of applying, I finally had this niche of like, hey, I'm a therapist. I understand human behavior. I want to use psychology and what I know as a therapist in Survivor. And I think that sounds really interesting, because before me, there was only one therapist who had ever played. It was Denise, and she ended up winning. Big shoes to fill. But I thought that was an interesting one. I would have liked to have done like a story there instead of just like telling and listing off things, instead like telling a story to really get them like emotionally understanding my job as a therapist.
Literally trained to be a counselor. And I've been taught how to make people feel safe and so that they can trust me. Like, I have this in the bag. Put me in, Coke. When people audition for Survivor, they're like, yeah, I'm super competitive.
Which is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to say, I'm super competitive. You know, that's so basic, watered down. They've heard that so many times. Do what I'm about to do here, kind of.
Oh, I'm not just competitive. I have this relentless determination that actually kind of scares me sometimes.
I will say, so I had put text up that said, probably because I'm the middle child of 5 kids, because whenever I was going back through my video, I was like, oh my gosh, I never mentioned that I'm one of 5 kids. And that I'm the middle child. I feel like that's pretty significant. So I mean, that is a way you can add information in later if you don't want to reshoot a whole scene. Even if you just want to put in extra information, you can put some text up on the screen. I think that's fine.
I actually passed out during a workout, and another time I peed myself during a workout because I was pushing myself that hard. Even if
But honestly, that would alert me. I'm like, do you struggle with disordered eating, or did you have an eating disorder? I probably shouldn't have said those. Honestly, I would take those out, because when I look back at that now, I realize that's a toxic relationship with exercise. If you're going to push yourself that hard to the point of passing out or peeing yourself, you're not listening to your body and being kind to it. So I'm kind of embarrassed I put that in there, but that's my story. It's part of it.
Tired or exhausted or drained, I might slow down, but hear me now, I will never stop. I will never quit. That is why I'm still here auditioning for Survivor after 5 years of being told no. 3 words that people would use to describe me: center of attention. I don't even try to be the center of attention, but I literally cannot help it. When I'm in a room, you know I'm in the room. I'm going to use my social game to make people want to work with me as opposed to wanting me out right at the get-go. I used to think,
okay, I'm like literally dead that I am changing outfits and earrings so many times. I had no intention behind this other than I want to look cute, I want to show that I have style, and I want them to see me in like different options, different colors, different hairstyles. Which ended up, I was told that one of the reasons I was contacted initially is because there's like, I was just so curious, like, why you were changing outfits so time, because you were trying to be on Survivor, which is a show where you live on a deserted island, you get like 1 pair of clothes. So my recommendation is I do think it's good to show yourself in different like lights or like different backgrounds or different outfits, different hairstyles, maybe. Like, don't go too crazy. But I think I personally more so enjoy watching that than someone in the same exact thing, same exact background for 3 minutes straight. That's just me.
my strategy going into Survivor would be to be authentic and genuine, honest and trustworthy. And then I'm like, no, that is not going to work. What I realized I actually want to do is I want to have that front. Because in the game of Survivor, you're gonna have to manipulate. You're gonna have to be deceptive and deceitful. And I am more than willing to do that. But when I have this front, they're like, you can trust me. I'm just really sweet. I'm this really kind girl. No, but then in the background, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna stab you on the back. Can't wait. But no one's going to ever suspect anything from me because I am so genuine. I am so down to earth.
Bro, I'm dead. Like, of course I got the villain edit. Why am I surprised? When I watch this video, I'm like, this bitch is gonna be a villain. Like, that is so funny. I genuinely went into the show thinking I was gonna be America's sweetheart. I even came off the show being like, I'm gonna get such a good edit. I'm gonna be America's sweetheart. I'm gonna be the underdog. I'm still very happy with my edit. I was entertained by watching myself, but I was really surprised too. I was like, I am that way? Oh my gosh. But when I watch this video, I'm like, wow. I feel like that's what I would expect out of this person. And that's what you want. You want the casting to be able to see your video and imagine the type of player you would be in Survivor. I think I went a lot in detail about, you know, talking about how I would be in Survivor and connecting it to strategy and always bringing it back to Survivor, which I don't think is a bad thing, but I think an even better thing to do is to just be able to come across so strong about who you are, what you're like, what you do, what you believe, that they are able to imagine you on that island themselves.
Something that sets me apart from a lot of the people that have played Survivor is that my faith is so important to me.
I know what happened there is I was really making sure to hit the 3-minute mark, and so I had to cut out all the rest of that, but I did want that to be put in because I watched my video back after I made it and I hadn't included that clip, and I was like, you know what, like one of the biggest aspects of who I am, which is my faith, my belief in Jesus, like that wasn't mentioned at all in my video. So I wanted to make sure, because I decided, I went through a list of what are the most important things about me that I want them to know, and I made sure to incorporate every single one of those things in my video.
I've cried at least 4 times editing my audition video because I'm just picturing my dream coming true of being on Survivor, so please call me.
Please don't make me wait 5 more years. I promise I'll make you proud. I'm so extra. I thought that was funny. It is important though. I hope I didn't come off as desperate because I think desperation is a very bad look. There's a difference between desperate and really passionate and refusing to give up, like me after, 5 years. So just walk that fine line. I think it was kind of humorous the way I was doing it. I wasn't like, seriously, please, this is my one dream. I have to make it happen. That would be a turnoff. That would be a bad look. But that's just kind of my critique on me. I would love to have put in more stories. Like if I could tell the story of me seeing Jonathan Penner when I was 11 years old in the airport, or the story about how every Christmas my family and I binge watch an entire season of Survivor. I needed to do some more storytelling because I do think that was something that I didn't really showcase in my video. And I know that they are looking for storytellers because when you are on the island, when you're in Survivor, they are relying on the people they cast to tell the story, to further the narrative and explain to people, the millions of people back home watching, what is happening on the island. So you have to be a good storyteller. I did a good job of like including examples and details and not just being generic and saying I'm competitive or I'm smart, but giving specific examples for all of those. But I think it would have really sent it over the edge had I incorporated more stories. And yeah, other than that, I mean, I can see why I got cast because I come across as a really strong personality, but then there's this funny side of me that like really is authentic and genuine and loves helping people. That doesn't always come across though, and I think that's exactly what we saw in my edit on Survivor 42. So I hope this was just helpful of giving a critique, like showing that my audition video wasn't perfect and you don't have to have a perfect video to get you on Survivor. So it's also saying don't copy what I did because I made mistakes too and I still made it on. I just really do hope that this was helpful. I have other videos where I give 24 audition tips if you're looking to send in a tape for Survivor. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, insights, concerns, question, and make sure to subscribe. I'm posting a lot of Survivor content recently because I just have so much up here that I want to get out. I want to be able to look back on these memories years from now that it's like almost been, I think, a year and a half since I played Survivor, which is crazy. I want to hold on to these memories. I want to share it with you because I think it can be helpful if you're in a similar place like I was where you love Survivor, you're a super fan, you want to be on the show, you just got to get through that hurdle of the casting process. My biggest thing though is don't give up, because if I would have given up after year 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I never would have seen my dream come true of being on Survivor. It wasn't until year 6 and I'd only heard one peep in year 3 or 4. So it really is about believing that this is for you and willing to put in the work to where you deserve to be on Survivor. Because let's be honest, not everyone is made for reality TV. You can be a huge super fan and not be meant for TV, okay? That's a hard truth, I'm sorry. But with that, make sure to subscribe, make sure to have a great day and pursue your dreams as relentlessly as I pursued my dream of Survivor. Thanks so much for watching.